Today's story is about a planet where cats can turn into humans. A cute cat from that planet falls in love with a handsome but stubborn guy on Earth. So, the story begins with a man named Chian who runs a bookstore. His neighbor, who secretly likes him, comes to visit. She says, "I opened a flower shop nearby," and brings him some flowers, but Chian refuses to take them. Then his best friend Zhu, who owns a pet shop, calls him to his store. There, they find a scared cat, and Chian calms her down and gives her a vaccination. When Chian gets home, a white cat starts following him. The cat chases a car bowl on his bag and runs into the road, where a speeding car is coming. Chian quickly saves the cat, but she injures her leg. He takes her home and bandages her wound. The next morning, Chian wakes up and finds a naked girl. She can't stand and falls to the floor. He covers her by a blanket. When she gets up, the blanket falls off, and Chian is even more shocked. He quickly puts his t-shirt on her and then threatens her, saying, "I will call the police if you don't reveal your identity." Instead of answering, she approaches him, sniffing his phone. Chian pushes her out of his house, but she bites his hand. She spots a fishbowl and jumps toward it. Chian tries to stop her, but ends up falling on top of her. Just then, Zhu arrives, misunderstands the situation, and about to leave. But Zhu's dog goes upstairs, and the girl behaves like a cat. The girl starts acting wildly in the house. Zhu questions the girl about her identity, but she doesn't speak. He sees her leg wound and decides to take her to the hospital. Later, Zhu asks her to wear pajamas, but she doesn't know how to put on clothes. A girl walks by, and Zhu feels embarrassed. Later, Zhu takes the girl to his clinic to treat her. There are many cats in cages and the girl feels sorry for them, so she sets them all free. Zhu is surprised to find all the pets gone and calls Chian for help. Meanwhile, the girl escapes from the hospital and creates a portal to return to her planet, but she can't go through. Spotting a restaurant, she goes inside and orders desserts, but realizes she has no money. The staff argue with her, and an old man hears the commotion. He detects the cat smell on her and realizes she is from the Meow planet. He takes her to his place and explains, "You need to speak in human language." The girl tries to talk like a human, but only meows. The old man tells her, "Don't ask humans for help, because it will involve granting them a wish. A human saved your life, so you must fulfill that human's wish to return to the Meow planet." The girl is excited to grant Chian's wish so she can go home. She approaches Chian, smelling his t-shirt, and tries to express her wish in broken language, but he doesn't understand. He goes to catch another cat, but the girl jumps into a tree, catches the cat, and gives it to Chian. He is surprised. The girl tells him, "I am a cat and can return to my planet only if I grant your wish." Chian laughs, thinking she is crazy, and says, "You should go to the hospital." To convince him, the girl transforms into the white cat, causing Chian scared and runs away. When Chian returns home, the girl is waiting at the door. She pulls him inside and asks, "What's your wish?" He wishes, "I want to be rich overnight." The girl holds his hand and tries to grant his wish, but nothing happens. She tells him, "You need to make a wish from your heart for it to come true." He then wishes, "I want to go to another planet," but that wish also fails because he doesn't truly want anything in his life. Finally, he says, "I wish for you to go back to your planet." The girl is happy and runs away, but she returns in the middle of the night, which means that wish wasn't fulfilled either. The girl insists, "You must make a heartfelt wish." Chian keeps wishing, but none come true. Tired, the girl falls asleep. Chian notices her injured leg and covers her with a blanket. The next morning, he finds the girl searching for noodles. He tells her, "You won't get any," but she looks at the fish bowl, so he ends up making noodles for her. He treats her like a cat and makes her wash his dishes. Chian's phone rings, so he steps away from the girl. While he's gone, she finds a book and starts tearing it apart. Chian gets angry because he worked hard on that book and throws her outside. The girl realizes her mistake, picks up the pages from the trash, and tries to fix them. Chian sees she didn't tear the book on purpose and goes to help her. The girl asks, "Will you forgive me if I fix the book?" She then says, "I'm leaving, but if you really want to make a wish, I will return." Chian asks her, "Where will you go? On the street or under a bridge?" and offers her a place to stay for a while. Then, she starts acting like a cat in Chian's home, and he begins to get used to it. One day he teaches her how to read. Then a boy named Qin Liang comes to get a book. He introduces himself, and the girl calls herself Billy Billy Boo. Qian stops her and warns her, "Don't reveal your identity to anyone." Next morning, the Catgirl asks Qian, "Can you give me a name?" and suggests some options. Qian jokingly names her Ratcatcher. The girl reads a psychology book and comes up with a plan to throw Qian into water to fulfill his wish before saving him. She also learns about love and realizes that once someone falls in love, they start making wishes. The girl visits a restaurant owner named Fu and tells him Qian doesn't want anything. I reads in a book that humans need feelings, relationships, and families after falling in love. Fu shares his thoughts on love with her. When the Catgirl returns, she sees Qian talking to his neighbor, and she decides to bring both of them into a relationship. She goes to Mink's shop and asks her, "Can you prepare food for Qian? Because I don't know how to cook." She persuades Mink to cook at Qian's house. We see Ming at Qian's place, and Qian asks her, "Why are you here?" The Catgirl takes Ming to the kitchen, where Ming starts cooking. While cooking, the Catgirl pretends, "I have a headache and need to take medicine." She sends her to the storeroom. Qian hears some noise and goes to the storeroom. As soon as he enters, the Catgirl shuts the door to try to spark some chemistry between them. Qian tells her, "Open the door." The Catgirl replies, "Enjoy yourselves, I don't need any thanks." Ming also asks her to open the door, but the Catgirl ignores her. Finally, Qian jumps out of the storeroom window, so she also jumps out of the window. They both keep chasing each other, running around from place to place. The next day, we see Qian receiving a note from Catgirl saying, "Meet at the park at 10 a.m., otherwise I will eat your fish." When he gets to the park, he spots the Catgirl standing near the pond with his fish. Qian asks for the fish, but the Catgirl refuses and says, "I want to fulfill your wish. First, close your eyes." Qian pretends to close his eyes, and just as the Catgirl is about to push him into the pond, he moves aside and she falls into the water. She can't swim and asks for his help. At first, Qian walks away with the fish, but seeing her struggle, he jumps into the water and rescues her. Though he's angry, the Catgirl explains, "I did this so you'd wish to get out of the water." Later at home, Qian warns her, "What you did was dangerous. Don't do such things again." The Catgirl hums a tune in response. Qian says, "Okay, go take a bath." But the Catgirl is afraid of water. Qian takes her to the bathroom and shows her how to bathe. Afterward, Qian gives her a contract with rules for staying at his place. The first rule, you can't be nude again. The second, you can't force anyone to love. The third, you can't put anyone in danger. The fourth, you must help in the bookstore. The Catgirl says, "I want to add my own rules. First, I should get good food. Second, whenever you need a wish, tell me immediately. Third, stop making that grumpy face and smile." Qian refuses to accept her terms, so the Catgirl refuses to accept his. Finally, he agrees. Then he gives her a name, Gio, and she signs the contract. The next day, the Catgirl goes to work at the library, where that boy, Qinliang, shows up. She happily repeats her name, Gio, which frustrates Qian. Later, the Catgirl finds a photo in a diary. Qian snatches the diary and photo from her and scolds her, "Don't touch my stuff." After he leaves, he reflects on some past memories from the diary. The Catgirl storms out of the library, frustrated, thinking, when will I fulfill his wish and go back home? Then she goes to Uncle Fu. She tells him about Qian's diary. Uncle Fu explains, humans write their secrets in diaries. There must be something in it. That's why he was mad at you. While returning home, the Catgirl smells beer and heads to a bar. Qian is worried about her, but the Catgirl keeps drinking. After a while, Qian goes looking for her. Drunk, the Catgirl's ears and tail appear. She starts dancing on stage, and people take selfies with her. Realizing her ears and tail are showing, she tries to leave, but a group of boys stops her. She hides behind an ATM, but the boys find her and start chasing her. Just in time, Qian shows up, sees Gio scared, and covers her with his jacket. He holds her hand and takes her home. At home, Gio apologizes. "I'm sorry, I'll never drink again." Qian also apologizes for scolding her too harshly earlier and tells her to rest. The next day, Gio and Qian are working in the library when Qinliang steals money from the cash box and runs away. The Catgirl chases him to a mall, where a group of bad boys takes the money from Qinliang and threatens him, "Next time, steal more." The Catgirl gets distracted and starts playing some kids' games. When the Catgirl realizes Qinliang is gone, she goes outside and sees some bad boys taking him away. As she follows them, a man grabs her hand. The Catgirl asks, "Who are you?" The man apologizes, "I thought you were someone else," and lets go. But by the time the Catgirl looks again, Qinliang has disappeared. She's upset and scolds the man. "How dare you touch me?" The man smiles. and the Catgirl runs off. After this, both of them go for shopping, where Gio was buying a lot of things. They see that Kim Liang was stealing some drinks there. An employee see him and start following him. Then Qian pays for the drinks, but Liang leaves without bringing the drink. Meanwhile, a group of thugs beat him up for not bringing the drink. Qian sees this. They both fights with thugs and runs away from there. They end up at a police station, and the police arrest all 3 thugs. Liang's sister, Kinming, arrives and thanks Qian for saving her brother. Gio asks, "Do you two know each other?" Kinming says, "Yes, we went to high school together." She asks for Gio's WeChat ID, but Qian says, "We don't use WeChat," and shows her his old keypad phone. Kinming says, "Okay, let's exchange phone numbers." Gio quickly gives her Qian's number, and they leave. Meanwhile, Qian is tending to an injury on his hand, but Gio wraps a bandage around his whole hand. They have dinner on the terrace. She then teases him, saying, "You never call me by my name properly, why don't you try?" Qian sarcastically says, "Gio." She insists, "Say it properly or I'll eat your fish." Qian then says her name correctly, and Gio is thrilled. The next day, Gio brings Qian coffee while he's writing a book. He tells her, "I'm writing this book to attract more customers on library. No matter what, I won't close it." Inspired, Gio decides to help by promoting the library. The next day, while promoting it, Qian accidentally spills coffee on Gio's dress. She goes upstairs to clean up. Later, a customer asks for a book and tries to pay. Gio, who has turned into a cat, starts using the calculator to count the money. Surprised, the customer films her saying, "This cat is so smart." Gio takes the money and leaves. Later, she returns as a human and takes her dress to the laundry. At the laundry, the same boy who held Gio's hand earlier, Linhu, asks for her name. She replies, "Why do you want to know?" Linhu introduces himself and asks, "Where are you from? You don't live here, do you?" Gio, annoyed, says, "Ask another question and I'll claw you." Linhu apologizes, saying, "I mistook you for someone else," and leaves. While heading back, Gio runs into Qian and they walk to the library together. When they arrive, the library is crowded. Everyone starts making vlogs and keep asking, "Where's the smart white cat?" They show him the viral video of the white cat. Gio tries to sneak away, but Qian pulls her back and asks, "What's going on?" Gio, making a cute face, says, "I didn't do it on purpose." Later, Gio transforms into a cat again and coolly works as a cashier, impressing everyone who keeps filming her. Frustrated, Qian grabs a microphone and tells everyone to leave, saying, "The store is closed." As everyone leaves, Gio, in cat form, tries to slip out too, but Qian picks her up and brings her back inside. When Gio returns to human form, she argues with Qian, saying, "Why did you send everyone away?" "My fame sold a lot of books today." Qian shouts, "They weren't customers, they were trouble." Gio yells back, "How dare you grab me by the neck?" and try to scratches him. Qian leaves. Upset, Gio sees an ad for a law firm that claims to fulfill wishes, like finding someone or investigating marriages. She visits the shop and tells the man, "I want to fulfill someone's wish." The man says, "We can investigate and find out his wish, but it'll cost 6,000 yuan. Gio agrees and starts working part-time jobs, handing out flyers and washing dishes to earn money. After saving up, a man approaches her, offering to make her a model for a fee. Excited, Gio gives him the money, but the man disappears. She's left with only a few coins. As she fumbles with a coin that falls into a drain, Qian shows up and takes out it with a magnet, making her happy. The next morning, 2 customers come asking about the smart cat. Qian lies, saying, "I sold the cat." Annoyed, they leave. Gio asks, "Why did you lie?" Qian says, "They weren't interested in the book, just the cat. You made this mess, so you clean it up." Reluctantly, Gio puts up a sign saying the cat is gone, and the crowd leaves. She's sad, sitting on the roof, looking at a job ad for a store. She applies for the job but rejected by owner. Later, Gio sees the same man who scammed her about becoming a model, but he pretends not to know her and drives away. That night, Gio is upset, scratching the table. Qian tells her, "Stop it. I don't have money to buy a new table." He asks her, "What happened?" Gio explains, "A man took all my money, saying he would make me a model." Qian says, "If someone on the street asks for money, they're probably a scammer." Gio says, "You humans are such cheats. I worked hard for that money, and now I have nothing left." Looking at the full moon, Gio says, "The full moon doesn't appear on my planet." Qian explains, "It shows up every month here, and people enjoy it with their families." Gio asks, "Where's your family?" Qian replies, "I don't have a family." The cat girl is out looking for a job but can't find anything. She goes to the park and sits down. Some children ask her to play and she joins them. But then, some older boys come and start chasing the kids away. The Catgirl stands up for the kids and chases the older boys away. The boys get angry and throw a ball at her. Just then, Linu arrives, scares the boys off, and asks the Catgirl, "What are you doing here?" She says, "I'm looking for a job." Linu tells her to go home. She thanks him and leaves. Later, they're all having fun at a club. The waiter gives Gio a drink without alcohol. After drinking it, the Catgirl starts feeling strange and runs out of the club. Kinming says to Qian, "Remember how you always studied alone at school? I asked you to study with me once, but you left." Qian apologizes for his behavior. Kinming says, "Remember when some boys found a love letter in your bag and made fun of you? That letter was actually..." At that moment, the waiter comes to Qian and apologizes for giving Gio a drink with alcohol in it. Qian rushes to find the Catgirl. Since she drank alcohol, her ears and tail appear. Qian puts his jacket around her and takes her home. Qian grabs a raincoat for her. The Catgirl feels happy because of the rain. Meanwhile, Qian's neighbor, Ming, watches him and feels a little sad. Next day, we see Qian going to buy clothes for the Catgirl. The Catgirl picks out some clothes and tries them on, posing as she wears them. Qian thinks the clothes are too small and feels embarrassed. He then selects clothes for her that are very large. The Catgirl says, "I already have big clothes." She wears them, and Qian gets flustered. He says, "But these clothes look good on you." The Catgirl sees a game zone in the mall and pulls Qian with her. She starts jumping on the trampoline and insists Qian jump with her. At that moment, a little girl tells her brother, "Look, they're going to kiss." Qian falls while jumping, and the Catgirl jumps on top of him. Seeing this, the little girl closes her brother's eyes. The Catgirl enjoys teasing Qian. Qian thinks to himself, "What's gotten into this cat?" He takes the Catgirl away and says, "I'm going to get your phone." He tells her to wait there and leaves. Qian goes to store and buys a phone for the Catgirl. As he comes outside, a lady calls to him. This lady is Qian's mother. After ordering coffee, she asks when he graduated. Qian replies, "I graduated years ago." His mother is shocked and says, "I can't believe you're already 26. She asks about his life and work. Qian tells her, "I runs a bookstore." His mother shares memories of his childhood and tells him, "If you need any help, let me know." Just then, the lady's stepson, Jian, sees them together. Qian asks his mother, "How are you doing?" But she doesn't respond. Qian starts to leave, but his mother stops him, saying, "We haven't seen each other in years. I have a lot to tell you." She begins talking and gets emotional. Qian asks, "Do you even care about me?" With that, he walks away. Qian steps out of the cafe, and a flashback of his childhood appears. He remembers his mother leaving some money for him. He goes to her. She says, "I didn't want to leave you. You'll understand one day. I promise I'll meet you soon." Qian replies, "Go or grandfather will wake up." He watches sadly as his mother leaves through the window. Outside, Qian spots a rabbit, which reminds him of the Catgirl. She has been lost in the mall, wandering around until he finally finds her. Back home, Qian teaches the Catgirl how to use the phone, and they take many pictures together. Meanwhile, a novel book, The Dark Alley, becomes very famous. Jian claims credit for the book, saying he's the author. The Catgirl keeps distracting him and trying to talk. Jian says, "Watch TV." She sees Jian's interview, where Jian claims he worked hard on the book. Jian receives a call from a man who previously asked him to write a novel. The man says, "I don't know why Jian is claiming your novel. I will find out soon." The Catgirl insists, "This man is lying. You wrote this novel." Meanwhile, Jian has become famous because of the book. The Catgirl then meets Jian, who is looking for Qian's shop. She goes to the store and tells Qian, "I saw Jian on the street asking for directions. I gives him wrong directions to send him far away." Hearing this, Qian laughs. The Catgirl asks, "Did you smile?" Qian tries to hide his face. Jian wanders the streets and finally finds Qian's shop. When he sees Jian, the Catgirl hides behind a bookshelf. Qian asks Jian, "Did you come to buy a book?" Jian replies, "I came to discuss some work." "I want to work with you." Jian responds, "I don't need any help. You can leave." Jian says, "If you write the next series of the novel, I'll pay you whatever you want. It will benefit us both." But Jian still refuses his offer. Jean leaves, giving Qian his business card. The Catgirl overhears their conversation and decides to teach Jiangyi a lesson. She calls her cats and says, "Help me." Jian is in the park when all the cats attack him. The Catgirl laughs as she watches. Jian tries to get to her, but Qian stops him. Jian says, "I'll let her go this time because of you." She replies, I let him go because of you too. Chian takes the cat girl away. The cat girl sees someone eating sausage and says, I'm hungry. Chian gives her money to buy some. When the cat girl goes home, Chian puts a SIM card in her phone. She calls him constantly, even from the bathroom. The next day, the cat girl goes to find a job. She sees a girl wearing a beautiful dress and follows her into a store. She finds a dress she likes and tries it on. Linu, who is running away from some goons, ends up in the same room as the cat girl. She tries to scream, but Linu covers her mouth. The goons come into the store and ask the employee, have you seen Linu? The employee says, I haven't seen him. They want to check the room where the cat girl is. The goons try to open the door. Linu pleads, help me, and hides inside the dress. The cat girl beats on the dress, but he doesn't come out. When the goons open the door, they only see the cat girl and leave. Angry, the cat girl yells, get out! Linu comes out, and she is embarrassed. Outside the store, the cat girl asks Linu, what did you do? He says, thank you for saving my life. She says, you don't need to thank me, you saved my life too. He offers, I'll buy you the dress. She replies, I don't want it and don't tell anyone what happened. We see the cat girl talking to her uncle about a job. He shows her an app with job listings. He says, there's an opening at the beer palace near our place. She says, I applied there last time but failed. Her uncle says, they're hiring again. You should call them. She calls and gets an interview. When she gets home, she starts preparing for the interview. Chian arrives and warns her, don't drink beer at work or your cat ears and tail will appear. She says, I'll be careful. The cat girl is at her job interview. Linu is there. She asks, where's the lady supervisor? He says, she asked me to interview you. He proceeds to ask her questions, and she answers correctly. He says, you're hired. She asks, when will I get paid? He says, every month. She requests, I want daily pay. He agrees and says, you can start tomorrow. She says, I want to work from today. He says, okay. Chian's mother enters his bookstore. Chian asks, what are you doing here? She says, I came to see your store. Do you have the book Dark that you wrote for Jian? He says, no. She says, I know you're angry with me for what I did before. He tells her, don't remind me. She says, I don't know where I'll go if Jian leaves me. Jian says, you haven't changed. You're still selfish. She says, I care about you too and Jian wants you to work with him. He says, I'm happy with my life as it is. Meanwhile, we see Linu walking when some goons chase him. He says, give me a month and I'll pay you back. But they beat him up. The cat girl sees Linu injured on her way home and goes to help him. Linu says, I'll not die because of injury, but it'll be because of you. Chian tells his mother, I won't work with Jangi. She pleads, please reconsider. He says, don't interfere in my life. Just then, he gets a call from the cat girl saying, I need help. He runs to her. She asks, what should we do? He says, you should have called an ambulance. Linu grabs Chian's shirt and says, I won't let you go if you call an ambulance. He tries to walk but falls. After a while, Linu wakes up and asks, where am I? The cat girl says, you didn't want to go to the hospital, so Chian brought you to his bookstore and bandaged you. Linu asks, who's Chian? The cat girl says, he owns the store. Chian comes in and asks, why don't you want to go to the hospital? Linu says, an astrologer told me I can't go for a year or my life will be in trouble. The cat girl and Chian are speechless. He asks, are you two a couple? Chian immediately says, no, we're just friends. Linu says, just friends? And the cat girl blushes. Linu leaves, thanking Chian. Chian looks at the cat girl, wondering, who is this guy? An employee in Jian's studio says, your book ratings are falling because people want to know the story's ending. Jian asks, what happened to the new writer? The employee says, it's hard to find a talented writer like Chian in such a short time. Meanwhile, Chian is arranging books with the cat girl. Chian gets a call from his mother, asking him to meet at a cafe. The cat girl secretly messages someone. Later, Chian meets his mother at the cafe while the cat girl spies on them with a person. Chian's mother says, Jian worked hard to open this studio, and it's all because of your book's success. Chian replies, I wrote that book for the studio, but I don't want to write anymore. His mother offers him money, but Chian asks, did Jian give you this? She responds, that's not important. I'm giving it to you. Use it to make your bookstore bigger and follow your dreams. Jian refuses, saying, I told you I'm not writing for Jian anymore. His mother admits, Jian's been acting distant for years. Please, do this for me. Chian coldly replies, this was your choice, and you have to deal with it. He tries to leave the cafe, but the cat girl follows him and apologizes for spying. Chian responds, don't follow me. Later, the cat girl sits in a garden when Uncle Fu arrives. She says, Chian's always angry. I don't know what makes him happy. Uncle Fu replies, you're taking care of him like it's more than just friendship. The cat girl asks, So does that mean he is my boyfriend? Uncle Fu says, no. Now the Catgirl, Ji-yo, is drinking on the terrace. She says, Qian and I are friends now. Qian arrives and asks, did you drink? The Catgirl says, we're friends because I care about you, and hugs him. Qian pushes her away, and the Catgirl says, on our planet, friends hug each other. Qian teaches her the pinky promise, telling her, don't drink alone next time. Later, the Catgirl visits Ming's shop and says, when I leave, I'll miss your cooking the most. Ming says, where are you going? She clarifies, no, that's not what I meant. She hands her a yellow flower, saying, this flower symbolizes friendship. The Catgirl arrives at store, asking Zhu, what are you doing here? Zhu claims, I was inviting Qian to a restaurant. The Catgirl insists, I'm coming too. While going out, she asks, will we get fish there? Zhu says, you likes fish so much? Are you a cat? They start to argue. Just then, Qian gets a call and looks upset. Zhu asks, what happened? Qian shares, Mr. Yu passed away. I have to go to his memorial. Zhu tells him, get ready, and they leave for the memorial. Back at the bookstore, the Catgirl turns into a cat and sneaks into the car with Qian and Zhu. She changes back into a girl but realizes she left her clothes behind when she was a cat. She searches for something to wear, and Zhu unexpectedly sees her in the mirror. Both start yelling. Zhu asks, what are you doing here? She retorts, get out of the car! Wearing a too big dress, Zhu comments, why didn't you wear clothes? She explains, I didn't have time. Zhu says, it's mean you were necked? The Catgirl brushes him off. He says, what you did today only a Fico or an alien can. Ji-yo asks, where did Qian go? Zhu tells her Qian's teacher passed away and he's at the funeral. At the funeral, Qian is emotional, remembering his school days. Qian returns, and the Catgirl hides in the car, apologizing, saying, I was worried about you. Qian doesn't respond. At home, the lights are out, and the Catgirl says, I can see in dark, and lights candles for Qian, who shows her the room he used to live in as a child. Later, Qian, upset, chops wood in the middle of the night. The Catgirl watches and approaches him, but he walks away. Later, while drinking wine, Ji-yo tells him, my sister was special to me, but my parents act like she never existed. I miss her, but I hide my sadness so they don't get hurt. Qian tells her, you're braver than me, and asks, can you bring my family back? She apologizes, saying, I can only grant wishes related to wealth or power. Qian gets upset. A flashback is shown, in which a white cat dies, and the black cat tells its master, I want to become human forever. The master warns, without a cat seal, the transformation comes with side effects, the loss of smell, and the ability to recognize other cats. Plus, it will shorten your cat life. We then see a man tells Linhu, I found out that Cat's death occurred in a campus. Linhu gives him money. The person hands him a photo and says, the same incident happened before this boy was involved in the cat's death. Then Qian goes to visit his old school, but it's closed. The Catgirl insists he take her there anyway, so they sneak through the gate and head to the school. Once inside, she starts asking about his school days. While they are walking, Qian stops at a particular spot, and the Catgirl asks, what happened? Qian remembers how he used to feed a white cat at school. One day, some girls were also feeding the cat, and Qian told them not to give it salty food. Qian would often spend time with the cat. She asks, what happened to it? Qian explains, one day she disappeared. Everyone blamed me for killing her. The Catgirl says, I believe you're a good person. Qian thanks her. The Catgirl places a flower on the cat's grave and says, rest in peace. As they leave, Linhu appears and is startled to see them. Just then, Qian gets a phone call and walks away to answer it. Meanwhile, the Catgirl notices a bird's nest in a tree and climbs up to get a closer look. She accidentally knocks down a beehive, and bees start swarming her. Qian grabs a fire extinguisher and tells her to duck. He sprays it, scaring the bees away. The Catgirl's face turns white from the foam, which makes her look funny. She sees Qian and starts laughing because a bee stung him on the head. A security guard shows up, so Qian and the Catgirl run away. Qin arrives and sees them together, feeling jealous and sad. That night, it starts raining, and lightning strikes. The Catgirl, scared of the thunder, runs to Qian's room and says, I'm scared of the sound. Qian replies, but you can't sleep here. Her cat ears pop out and Qian says, okay, fine, but don't kick me in your sleep. Another lightning strike scares the Catgirl, so Qian holds her close. Later, Linhu arrives at Qian's house with a knife. He is angry, but when he sees the Catgirl and Qian together, he leaves quietly, punching the wall on his way out. The next day, Qian returns to his bookstore. Meanwhile, Linhu is searching for something when two men arrive. Linhu hides in the bathroom, but suddenly, his body starts changing, cat ears and a tail appear. One of the men spots Linu's tail and moves toward him, but Linu quickly drinks something. The Catgirl and asks the men what happened. One of them says, "There must be a rat here." The Catgirl responds, "If there's a rat, I'll catch it." She goes inside, and Linu comes out. The Catgirl asks him if he saw a rat. Linu says, "No, but there was a cat," and leaves. The Catgirl comments, "He's so annoying," and continues searching for the rat. Linu recalls his master's words that he needs special medicine to become fully human without a cat seal. It turns out the black cat we saw earlier is actually Linu himself. Later, a black cat, Linu, enters Qian's house. Qian is throwing out trash when the cat knocks a flower pot at him. The Catgirl pushes Qian out of the way, but the pot lands on her leg, injuring her. Qian rushes her to the hospital, where they meet a doctor named Lao, who recognizes Qian. Lao tells Qian that the Catgirl is allergic to anesthesia, so stitching her wound will be painful. Qian warns the Catgirl about the pain, and she agrees to go through with it. During the treatment, she becomes aggressive, so Qian calms her down before the doctor continues. The Catgirl faints from the pain. The next day, the Catgirl is recovering, but she keeps asking Qian for snacks, drinks, a blanket, dolls, and more. Qian gets frustrated. She even asks to be taken to the bathroom, and Qian finally says, "This is too much." The Catgirl reminds him, "I got hurt because of you, but you humans forget so quickly." Qian wonders what to do with her. Later, Linu arrives to take the Catgirl to the office, but Qian says she shouldn't go to work with her injury. The Catgirl insists, "I will just sit and work," so Qian agrees. At a restaurant, Linu asks her about her leg, and she says it will heal in a month. He then comments, "The pot was about to fall on Qian and you saved his life." Gio responds, "I helped because he was in trouble." Linu asks, "Do you like him?" Gio admits, "Yes." Linu clarifies, "I mean like him in a different way." Gio, confused, asks, "What do you mean by that?" "I just like him." "You tell me. Do you like someone?" Linu says, "Yes, but she's no longer in this world." Later that evening, Linu comes to take Gio somewhere, and as they go upstairs, Qian asks, "Why don't you come with me instead?" Both argue over who will escort Gio. Suddenly, the Catgirl jumps upstairs on her own, leaving both surprised. Later, Qian and the Catgirl are sitting together watching TV. Suddenly, the Catgirl asks, "What does it mean to like someone and to love someone?" Qian responds, "Why do you want to know?" The Catgirl insists, "I just want to know if you like me." Qian replies, "Why would I like you? Stop asking silly questions," and begins to walk away. The Catgirl calls after him, "If you don't like me, then why are you running away from the question?" The next day, Qian gets a call from a publisher asking him to pay rent. At the same time, a man enters the bookstore and offers Qian a paid opportunity to host a book launch. Needing money, Qian agrees without knowing the writer's name. Next day, the Catgirl is preparing for the party. A car arrives and Jian steps out. Gio and Qian are shocked to see him. Jian reveals, "I'm the writer of the book, and I hosted this party." The Catgirl immediately gets suspicious and threatens him. "Remember what I did last time?" Jian replies, "I paid for this party, so be polite." Later, during the party, Linu hands a special drink to Qian. Just as Qian is about to drink it, Jian's fans start causing a commotion, so he put the drink down and heads to the terrace. Jian, meanwhile, is searching for Qian and argues with the Catgirl. Qian overhears them and comes down, saying, "I know why you're doing all this, but I'm not going to write for your studio anymore." Angry, Jian leaves and drinks the same drink intended for Qian. Soon after, Jiang feels sick and is rushed to the hospital. At the hospital, Jian's stepmother accuses Qian of poisoning Jian. The Catgirl defends Qian. The doctor informs them bringing Jian to the hospital quickly saved his life. Relieved, Jian's stepmother goes to see him, and Qian leaves the hospital. Next day, when Qian wakes up, he finds Catgirl sleeping beside him and tells her, "I will clean your room. From today, you sleep there." Then Catgirl says, "Last night, there was severe lightning. That's why I slept here." After that, she gives him 2 aquarium tickets and asks him to come with her, but Qian refuses. Now the Catgirl goes to the aquarium with Linu and enjoys looking at the fish. At the same time, Qian receives a note from the Catgirl saying, "I'm at the aquarium with Linu." Qian feels jealous. After the aquarium visit, Linu and the Catgirl have dinner together. A girl approaches Linu and asks, "Can I have your number?" Linu replies, "You should have asked my girlfriend." Gio says, "You're joking, right?" Linu replies, "No, I'm serious." Gio says, "This can't be?" Linu suggests, "Maybe Qian is the reason for this. If I say that Qian is not what you think, he has many secrets, and one day he might hurt you." The Catgirl replies, "He looks mean, but he's not." He is a good man. First, you called me your girlfriend, and now you're saying bad things about my friend. The Catgirl gets angry and starts to leave. Linu tries to stop her, but she won't listen. When the Catgirl gets home, Zhu is there to drop Qian off because he was drunk. At home, the Catgirl brings new clothes and hot water for Qian. She starts changing his clothes and attempts to remove his pants, but gets distracted and stops. She tries to lift him, falls on top of him, and they accidentally kiss. The Catgirl playfully hits Qian and then gives him water to drink while talking to him. She says, "I was really happy seeing so many fish at the aquarium, but it would have been better if you were there. She looks at Qian, but he is too drunk to listen. The Catgirl then leaves. The next day, Qin visits Qian and shows him a live video of Jian, who is pretending to be sick for sympathy. Qin tells him, Jian's father has filed a police report against you for poisoning him. Qian explains, he drank that drink I was going to drink, so someone is trying to harm me, not Jian. Qin insists, everyone suspects you, so you need to clear your name. As they leave, Qian switches off the lights in the bookstore, but sees a light inside. Checking it, he finds a camera recording Jian drinking. Qin says, now we have proof that Qian didn't give Jian the drink. Qian replies, this camera isn't mine. Now a man enters Qian's house at night. He is one of Gina's employees and tries to steal the camera, but all three catch him. They ask him, why did you hide the camera? But he doesn't answer. When Qian threatens to call the police, he finally admits, I work for Jian's studio. I know that Jian and you two don't get along, so I installed this camera to get a video of your fight and sell it to the news channel for money. He apologizes to Qian. Qian forgives him, saying, your mistake helped us because now we have proof. The next day, Jio and Qian are outside when Ming runs up to them, asking, have you seen my missing cat? Qian says, no, but the Catgirl offers, I'll help you find it. At Ming's house, she is making a poster to find her cat. The Catgirl stops her and says, I'll draw a picture of the cat. She makes a strange drawing, and Ming wonders, is that my cat? Meanwhile, Qian arrives at a park and calls Qin because some cats have been found dead there. Qin is shocked and asks, how could someone do this? Qian feels upset because he likes cats and used to feed them. Qin brings him coffee and tries to calm him down, saying, we'll catch whoever did this. She says, I want to tell you something. Do you know? I've liked you since school, but I never said anything. Qian hesitates and doesn't respond. Qin says, it's okay. I'm happy I finally said it. Qian feels bad and apologizes to her. Qin says, I'm okay, and leaves. Zhu overhears their conversation and feels sad because he likes Qin. The next day, Ming and the Catgirl are talking when Linu calls Jio and say, I found Ming's cat. They goes to Linu where Ming thanks him. Linu tells her, you should thank Jio for making such a great drawing of your cat. And everyone laughs. Linu leaves, and Ming buys coffee for the Catgirl, who enjoys it. Later, Zhu comes to the same shop and accidentally tells the Catgirl, Qin told Qian that she likes him. The Catgirl leaves angrily. Zhu realizes his mistake, but when he looks back, the Catgirl is gone. Angry, the Catgirl goes to confront Qin, asking, how dare you like Qian? He's mine. Qin replies, who said he's yours? The Catgirl insists, because he makes food for me and lets me sleep on his bed. Qin laughs and teases her, saying, I like Qian, so I told him. If you like him too, why didn't you say anything? The Catgirl starts to think. Two dogs approach from behind, scaring her, and she hides behind Qin, yelling, save me from the dogs! Zhu and Qian arrive and think they are fighting. Qian then taking the Catgirl home. She runs up to him and says, Qian, I like you. I don't like that someone else likes you. She asks, do you like me too? Qian apologizes and says, I don't want to talk about it right now. He starts to leave but sees another cat on the road. Both are upset. In the next scene, Qian sits with the Catgirl, reflecting on what she said about liking him. He thinks, since you came into my life, I've changed a lot, but you're not from here, so you will leave someday. I don't want you to face any trouble because of me. He realizes he likes the Catgirl, but doesn't want to admit it. In the morning, the Catgirl wakes up to find Qian sleeping. He makes breakfast for her and she asks, do you like me? He replies, no. The Catgirl says, you liar! If you don't like me, why do you care so much? Qian insists, it doesn't matter to me. My problems have increased since you came into my life. The Catgirl offers, okay, then ask for a wish, so I can go back to my planet and never come back. Qian wishes for her to go back. She touches his head and tries to grant his wish, but it doesn't work because he didn't wish from his heart. The Catgirl says, you're such a liar, and leaves. In the next scene, Linu drinks beer and tells the Catgirl, I met a girl on this day who looked just like you, so when I see you, I remember her. The Catgirl also drinks beer, causing her ears and tail to appear. She then runs away. She finds an empty place and turns into a cat, but a man in black dress catches her and locks her in a room. The Catgirl, Gio, is locked in a cage with many other cats. In the evening, Gio escapes and runs away as a human. She reaches the road and sees a truck, secretly getting inside. She doesn't know where the truck is going, but after some time, she finds herself on a boat in the middle of the sea. She asks a man for his phone and calls Chian. She tells him, "I'm stuck on a boat in the middle of the sea." She explains how she got there. When Chian arrives, Gio is overjoyed to see him. They run to each other and hug. That night, Chian makes soup for Gio. She tells him, "When I was a cat, a man locked me in a cage. There were a lot of cats there, but he was wearing a mask so I couldn't see his face." After that, Chian promises her, "I will always take care of you." Gio smiles. Then Chian says, "I also like you," and leans in to kiss her. The next day, Gio is going to work when she meets Linu. He asks her, "Where did you go suddenly last night?" Gio says, "I have an allergy to alcohol and I drank it mistakenly. That's why I ended up on an island unknowingly." Linu asks, "Did Chian come to save you?" Gio says, "Yes, and he has accepted my love." Linu says, "Are you his girlfriend?" The Catgirl says, "Yes." Hearing this, Linu feels jealous. Meanwhile, Kin shows Chian and Gio a video of Jang's book launch party. In the video, Linu is seen approaching Chian with a special drink. As Linu comes out of the washroom, he sees two policemen who are looking for him. He hides and runs away. Kin tells Chian and Gio, "It was Linu who poisoned the drink at the party. He wants to kill you." Hearing this, they are shocked. Linu was hearing all this from a distance and leaves. Chian and Gio can't believe that Linu would do this. The Catgirl and Chian are arguing over a pillow. Chian asks her for the pillow so that he can sleep on the sofa, but the Catgirl says, "The bed is so big, so why don't you sleep here? There is no need to feel shy, I won't do anything." Hearing this, Chian gets a little nervous, so the cat fell embarrassed and gives him the pillow. Chian starts leaving. At night, Linu, who is stabbing Chian with a knife. However, a mysterious power stops the knife. Linu tries again, but nothing happens. He is surprised. Just then, Gio arrives. Seeing her, Linu hides, turns into a cat, and runs away. The next day, Chian is taking Gio out for a walk. There is a beer drinking competition going on. Gio challenges Chian to win the competition because she wants the prize, a Nemo fish which she loves. While walking, she sees a man and says, "This man has the same smell as the one who caught me." They start following him and reach a hospital. The man disappears. The Dr. Lee arrives and asks them, "What are all of you doing here?" Chian tells him, "Some cats are disappearing, and we suspected a man, so we followed him here." The Catgirl says, "That man suddenly disappeared. Maybe he is a staff member or a doctor." Dr. Lee changes his expression and says, "I will let you know if I see him." Chian and Gio leave. Later, Chian gifts Gio a bike, which makes her very happy. Chian teaches her how to ride the bike. In the evening, they go to the beach for a walk. While talking, the Catgirl kisses Chian. Chian also gets a little romantic and kisses her. We see a man appears. He sees Uncle Fu and says, "I am messenger number 257 and you are the last visitor." He asks his name. The man says, "My name is Happy and I came to find my daughter Meow Meow." Uncle Fu says, "Are you looking for Gio?" He says, "Yes, take me to her." The Catgirl is getting ready for the salon. Her father calls her from the window. Seeing her dad, the Catgirl is surprised. She tells her dad everything, that she can't go back to her planet without getting a wish from Chian. Then Chian calls out to Gio. As soon as Gio comes in out of the window, her father also comes in, which makes Chian afraid. The Catgirl says, "He is my dad." Then her father threatens Chian, "Quickly ask for your wish so that my daughter can return to her planet." The Catgirl says, "I told you earlier that Chian doesn't have a wish." Her father says, "Okay, then come with me from here." Gio grabs Chian and says, "I am already settled here." Her father says, "This house is good, but it's small. How many rooms are there?" Chian says, "1. Now, we see Gio's dad sleeping on the floor at night. Chian quietly comes in and sleeps on the bed. After a while, Gio's dad gets onto the bed and Chian ends up on the floor. In the morning, when Gio's dad wakes up, he sees Gio and Chian sleeping together and gets angry. He asks Gio, "Was Chian bothering you?" The Catgirl replies, "No, I was the one bothering." Hearing this, her dad scolds her, saying, "You are my daughter or someone else's?" He then threatens Chian, saying, "Don't you dare come close her." Chian says, "I'm going to make breakfast." During breakfast, Gio's dad tells Chian again, "Ask for your wish so I can let my daughter go." Chian replies, "I want Gio to stay with me forever. Her dad shouts, "This is not possible." The next day, Gio's dad sees them together again and gets very annoyed, saying, "Is he trapping my daughter?" He threatens Chian, saying, "If you don't ask for your wish, I'll set fire on your bookstore." At that moment, the Catgirl arrives and douses the flames with water. Whenever her dad threatens Chian, the Catgirl steps in. One day, her dad kidnaps Chian and threatens him, "Tell me your wish, or I'll throw you down from here." Scared, Chian says, "I don't have any wish." Gio's dad responds, "I know you humans are greedy." Chian insists, "My only wish is for Gio to stay with me forever." Her dad shouts, "I can't trust any human." The Catgirl arrives and gets angry. She fights with her dad for Chian, saying, "Chian is a good man and I like him." Then she leaves angrily. Chian follows her to calm her down. Her dad realizes that they really like each other. That evening, when Chian brings Gio home, he realizes he forgot his keys, and Gio's dad is out with Uncle Fu. The Catgirl says, "Watch my magic." She transforms into a cat and sneaks inside the house. Meanwhile, the black cat Linu sees everything and now knows that Gio is also a cat. Next day, the Catgirl sees a black cat and follows it, from which she comes to know that Linu is also a cat. So she says to him, "Why did you not tell me that you are also from Meow Planet?" Linu asks her, "Have you heard about the cat seal?" Gio says, "No." Then Linu tells her, when a human falls in love with a cat, then he gets the cat seal. If that cat removes the cat seal, then you can live with that boy being a human. Gio agrees. In the evening, the Catgirl and Chian are drinking and reading romantic books. Chian finds a bookmark from his dad's book. The Catgirl likes it, so he gives it to her. He leans in and kisses her when the bookmark signs, "It is a cat seal who was protecting Chian." Linu, in his cat form, watches them. Later that night, Linu secretly enters Chian's house. He goes to Gio and tells her, "Chian killed your sister. I'm going to kill him tonight." He ties Gio to a chair and heads to Chian's room. However, the Catgirl accidentally knocks over a glass item, waking Chian. Linu attacks Chian with a knife. Chian tries to defend himself and asks, "Why are you doing this?" Linu responds, "You killed a white cat in high school. She was Gio's sister and my love." He attacks Chian again. At that moment, Gio breaks free from her ropes and runs after Linu, but Chian is injured. At hospital, Gio's dad and Uncle Fu arrive. The Catgirl is crying and they try to comfort her. The next day, Linu is walking down the road when Gio's dad and Uncle Fu catch him. They tell him, "Chian is a good man. He feeds stray cats and loves Gio. Why would he kill her sister?" Then they take Linu to the hospital. When Gio sees Linu, she attacks him, but Chian stops her. Linu then approaches Chian, apologizes, saying, "It was a misunderstanding." Chian explains, "The school students falsely accused me. The real cat killer was someone else." After some time, we see Chian is recovering. Gio's dad tells him, "I've been here long enough. Now you have to go back to your planet." Gio tries to stop him, but he leaves. One day, Gio catches the scent of the man who kidnapped cats. She runs after him, but he kicks her. She hits a pipe and faints. Chian quickly takes her to the hospital. Zhu and Qin arrive, discussing the kidnapper, suspecting that someone must be helping him. Outside, Dr. Li overhears their conversation and is shocked because he knows something about the missing cats. After some time, everyone is at Chian's house discussing how to catch the kidnappers. They make a plan to catch the kidnappers and hand them over to the police, but the kidnappers find out that someone is recording them. They attack from behind, leading to a fight. When Chian goes to save the camera, a kidnapper attacks him. Gio jumps in to save Chian, but gets seriously injured on her head and faints. Chian is worried and takes her to the hospital, but she doesn't wake up. Then Dr. Li arrives and tells them Gio's brain is severely injured, making it very difficult to save her. Chian is heartbroken and goes to see Gio and wishes for her recovery with all his heart, but nothing changes. She remains unconscious. In the next scene, Gio wakes up in a park, confused about how she got there. She sees children playing, then she heads to Chian's house. On the way, she meets Ming and tries to talk to her, but Ming pretends not to recognize her and asks, "Who are you?" The Catgirl is confused. When she reaches Chian's house, he also doesn't recognize her. She tells him, "I'm your girlfriend," but Chian insists, "I don't have a girlfriend. Please leave." The customers at the store make fun of her. Heartbroken, the Catgirl leaves. Next, she goes to Uncle Fu and asks about Chian. He tells her, "When you were about to die in the hospital, Chian wished for your recovery. That's why you're here now." However, he explains that due to the rules, humans who wishes forget everything about the cat. Gio is very sad and says, "Even so, I will try to remind Chian who I am." The next day, Gio goes to Chian's bookstore. When he sees her, Chian is shocked and wonders, why has she come back? The Catgirl asks him, "Do you need an assistant?" Chian makes an excuse, saying he doesn't need help, and asks her, "Why are you following me? What do you want?" Gio replies, "I'm your girlfriend, but you forgot about me, so you don't remember." She tells him about his daily routine, what he likes, and his favorite book. Cheon is surprised, thinking, how does she know all this? A customer arrives and asks for a book. The Catgirl quickly finds the book for him, leaving Cheon shocked again, wondering how did she know where it was. He tells Gio to leave. The next day, when Cheon opens his bookstore, Gio returns. He asks her to go, but she says, "I'm a customer." Then she starts reading a book. After a while, a man who cannot speak comes in and asks for some books. The Catgirl gives him the books, and when he leaves, she notices he forgot his wallet. She picks it up and runs after him, making Cheon think she's stealing it, but she returns the wallet to the man, who is happy and invites them both to lunch. At the restaurant, they talk a lot, and Cheon realizes she isn't crazy. In the evening, they sit near a lake, and the Catgirl shares her story. Cheon feels like he might know her, but can't remember how. One day, Gio invites Cheon to go out with her, and he agrees. They have a great time, but suddenly Gio feels dizzy and unwell. Uncle Fu arrives and says, "I know Gio is from the Meow planet. Since your wish is fulfilled, she can no longer stay on Earth." Cheon asks, "What will happen if she stays here?" Uncle Fu replies, "If she stays, she will die." Just then, Gio regains consciousness. Uncle Fu insists she go back to the Meow planet, but Gio doesn't want to leave. Cheon stops her and asks for the bookmark she gave him earlier. She gives it to him, and as he signs it, he suddenly remembers everything about Gio and feels guilty for forgetting her. At that moment, the bookmark flies away, and a cat from the Meow planet appears. No one has seen her before, and she is happy to see the love between Cheon and Gio. She blesses them, saying, Gio can stay on Earth with Cheon forever. Uncle Fu is also happy that Gio can stay. A few days later, Dr. Lee comes to Cheon's bookstore. He sees empty shelves and asks, "Are you moving?" Cheon explains, "The landlord wants to demolish the building." Dr. Lee finds some cat hair and asks, "Do you have a cat at home?" Cheon says yes, and then he sees Gio and is surprised. After some time, Cheon moves his bookstore to a new location with help from Kin and Zhu. Dr. Lee visits the new shop looking for a cat and gives Cheon a gift, a white cat statue. After he leaves, Gio comes in human form and feels sad seeing the statue because it resembles her elder sister. In the evening, as Cheon and Gio head home, they meet a little girl looking for her missing cat. Cheon tells her, "Go home and I will find your cat." They go to the park, where the Catgirl smells cat food and Dr. Lee's scent. She tells him, "This cat food was mixed by Dr. Lee, and I saw him giving money to cat kidnappers in the hospital." The next day, Dr. Lee watches a video featuring the Catgirl in her cat form and gets angry. Meanwhile, Cheon tells Gio, "Stay here while I go to the market." After he leaves, Dr. Lee sneaks into Cheon's house to try to knock out Gio. As he does, the cat statue breaks, revealing a hidden camera. When Cheon returns home and doesn't find Gio, he panics and calls her phone, which is still at home. He becomes very worried. Kin and Zhu arrive and they start searching for her. They encounter Linu and his friend who tell them, "I saw the cat kidnapper with a cat. I followed the kidnapper to an empty ship and saw Dr. Lau waiting for him." Hearing this, they all head to the ship. Inside, Dr. Lee discovers that Gio is from the Meow planet and plans to experiment on her. As the four of them arrive at the ship, Dr. Lee spots them on his camera. When Cheon enters the ship's room, Dr. Lee locks the door and attacks him from behind, knocking him out. When Cheon regains consciousness, Dr. Lee beats him up and reveals, "I knew about the Meow planet all along. I killed the white cat, Gio's elder sister, and blamed on you for everything." Cheon, furious, tries to fight back, but his hands are tied. Dr. Lee demands, "Tell Gio to come with me to the Meow planet, or I will kill her." Cheon refuses to comply. Just then, Linu, in his cat form, stops Dr. Lee from attacking Gio. Linu turns back into a human and fights Dr. Lee, but Dr. Lee stabs him and knocks him out. Now seriously injured, Linu falls. Cheon manages to free himself, and Dr. Lee escapes. Cheon chases him to the top of the ship, where there is nowhere to run. Cheon tells Dr. Lee, "You can't escape, the police will be here soon." Dr. Lee laughs and says, "What will happen if I tell them about your cat girlfriend? They'll want to experiment on her." At that moment, Gio arrives, and Dr. Lee offers her only one choice. "Come with me to the Meow planet, or I will expose your identity." Just then, the police arrive. Cheon looks at Gio and jumps off the ship with Dr. Lee. Cheon survives, but Dr. Lee becomes paralyzed and insane, with kids mocking him. Finally, Qian and the Catgirl are together. The story ends happily. If you liked this drama, let me know in the comments, and for more dramas, subscribe to the channel.